Today's webinar is going to be about setting a course for success for Navigate for students. What students want out of Navigate as they're entering a program. So what we as solutions consultants think about a lot of times is how we can support our software administrators and instructors with their Navigate, FISDAP, and LMS integration needs. What we should never lose sight of, though, is how our students ultimately can be supported through our platform. When we support our students with well-designed courses and functional software, they will be successful. We have a vested interest in their success because one day we might need them to help us. So today's webinar is going to be about setting the students up for success with education about the platform and the multimedia educational tools that are available to them as they engage in a learning and public safety classes. We want to encourage, as instructors, we want the students to be encouraged to take advantage of every learning opportunity for them based on their abilities, their strengths, their preferences. Students in the Navigate platform will be able to spend their time learning, not searching for assignments, tests, quizzes, due dates, or their grades. But before we dig any deeper into the Navigate platform, let's take care of a couple of Zoom housekeeping items. During the presentation, Zoom will not allow us to unmute single microphones in order to ask questions. So if a question arises during the presentation, feel free to put it in the chat or the question and answer session, and one of the other solutions consultants that are working with us today will answer them as we go as they can. At the end, we'll have time for some more in-depth answers to questions that we are going to be able to answer for you as they come up. So today you have two solutions consultants that are presenting to you. My name is Jeff Altoff. I recently joined Public Safety Group as a solutions consultant, and I hope to be able to share my experiences as a student and as an instructor in building best practices in designing your program within the Navigate platform so your students are able to get the most out of the information that you want to share with them. Nicole Juniman is the other solutions consultant that is going to present today.
Hi, I'm Nicole Juniman, another solutions consultant here at PSG. I've been here since August as a solutions consultant, and I am here to do the demonstration portion of Navigate on the student side instead of the instructor side, how I would usually do. Back to you, Jeff.
Thanks, Nicole. So what do we want to get out of today's webinar? There's 4 points that we want to try and make today. One is why the Navigate platform is right for the public safety students. The platform itself will ultimately support the student learning based on the information and how the classroom is set up by the instructor. What we want to do is let the students know all of the tools that are going to be available to them. The tools that are in the Navigate platform include multiple multi-sensory learning tools. Learning is more than just reading. Learning is more than just listening and watching slides. Within the platform, there are tools that have been developed that have best practice for educational principles that ultimately will let your students recall the lessons that you're teaching them when they have to. We also want to show students how to gain access to Navigate. We're going to do a static step-by-step walkthrough on how to enroll in a course using the proper terminology and the proper places to find the code so that you get the most access out of the platform that you can. And then the last part is we're going to do a live student demo of the learning activities that are available within the Navigate platform. So as a student, what do I need? I need to have effective education. I need to be able to apply what I've learned and practice it, and then also be prepared for certification. Uh, Public safety classes are a little bit different for students because sometimes we are overwhelmed with work and family life, and we still have to learn. So the Navigate platform ultimately allows the student to learn on their time frame. The accessibility of being able to log into one single point and gain access to everything that is being offered to the student through the program is what Navigate will do for the student. There's multiple places for the student to also use the multisensory tools. There's an ebook, an audiobook, and the e-reader 2 mobile app that we'll talk about further in depth in upcoming slides. And then we're also going to talk about organized schedules and expectations and the advantages of having a single point to log into one access for all of your communication. Public safety students also have the real life world roles that they're going to fill. As we go through our classes as public safety students, we know that there is going to be more than just theory taught to us. We're going to take something and we're going to have to go and do it. So we're educating ourselves to become doers. And ultimately, the classroom has to prepare the student to make me, the student, operational. One of the oddities that we have in our field is we're going to take a class, we're going to pass all the tests, and then we're going to be expected to take a certification test. We will also, within the Navigate platform, there's also learning tools that will prepare us for certification style testing. So after all the hard work we do in class, we're still not quite done. We still have to become certified. So we talked about those multisensory learning tools real quick, and we're going to dig into those a little bit deeper. But all three of these things are included in the Navigate platform. And realizing that you have access to these tools, we can use more than just sight to learn in our book and to the slides that the instructor is going to present to us. The first one is the ebook. I equate the ebook as something that students that are in high school now that have Chromebooks, they utilize no textbooks as they learn, and that's different than from when I went through classes where we were given textbooks and workbooks and study guides. Now, a lot of students coming through our classes are used to learning only on the computer. The ebook offers interactive learning features that we'll dig into a little bit deeper later, where I can highlight different colors. I can attach websites to items that I want to learn about further, and I can also make myself some audio notes and some I call it write in the column notes, just like if I had a real textbook. There's also a feature on the ebook that gives you some text to speech type learning. So if you're a learner who wants to read and listen at the exact same time, the ebook will support you in that method of learning, that manner of learning. The audiobook is up next. There's an audiobook chapter for the chapters as they come into your classroom. And the best part about the audiobook is it's downloadable and you can take it with you to wherever you want to go. The reduction of study fatigue comes from utilizing multiple study methods. So if we're tired of reading and just trying to remember the words that I see on a page or on a screen, as a student, I can also adjust my study techniques to include listening. There's a lot of studies out there that show listening to the content that you're reading improve your recall. Ultimately, will make you more successful on tests, and it'll make you better at operations in the field when you've been tasked to do that. The final multisensory learning tool that's available to you with the Navigate platform is the Navigate 2 e-reader. This will become an app that's on your mobile device, and then you can utilize the all of the offline access of those titles that you're enrolled in. So if you're in multiple Navigate classes at the same time, like maybe you're a student in a basic firefighter class and a first responder class, you will have access to both of those textbooks and text-to-speech modalities at any point, because the e-reader 2 app will also work in an offline platform, so you don't need to have an internet connection. We know as a student in public safety programs, time management is one of the biggest things that we have to operate. that we have to manage. We have to still be able to be a person, and we have to manage our shift work, our family, and the course at the same time. Navigate allows you to study on your schedule. So maybe you want to study while you're at the station or in between shifts. You can log in and have access to your classroom through the Navigate platform at the time that fits your needs. Furthermore, being productive in your downtime is what will allow you to be successful as a student. So if you have time to lean, you have time to clean, as the old saying goes in the public safety world. You can also have time to study while you're doing utilizing your time better. But we also have to understand that we can't do. Recently, we know that mental health resiliency and burnout management is very important. This platform will allow you to manage your time and prioritize what's important to you and still have time to take care of your classes. Having one spot to find your reading assignments, take your quizzes, and have announcements given to you that are important to the classroom time will save you time from searching for the information you're looking for and give you more time to live the life that you want to live. So we talked about schedules. The Navigate platform offers a schedule, and you'll see on your screen there's things written on some days. And the days are the days for this particular class that are designed are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but there's stuff on the Sunday and the Friday that you'll notice is a little bit different color. Those are notes that I'm able to put into myself as a student so I can remember what's coming up. So the orange comes from my instructor, and my instructor is telling me that I have to take attendance and I have to do a forum for the very first day. So as we look at schedules, one of the things that it makes good schedules is it sets clear expectations for the classroom. When I know as a student what my expectations are going to be, it decreases my anxiety. It allows me to have self-confidence in myself and as a student, which ultimately will make me more engaged in the class. More engaged in the class means I'm going to participate more, and more participation equals a better learning experience. So as I become a more focused student, the schedule allows for the expectations and allows me to organize my classroom time to maximize my work-life balance. Finally, as a student, I know that I like to have feedback. I don't want to have ungraded quizzes. I don't want to have ungraded items sitting out there and me having anxiety about whether I did it correct or if there was something I could have done better. The Navigate platform will allow for immediate feedback to the student. After an item is graded, the student gets an email and they're notified that they have received a grade for their assignment. Uh, Immediate feedback after the completion of an assignment or an exam like that improves academic outcomes by correcting misconceptions before they become bad habits. So the feedback and the tracking that comes with the Navigate platform ultimately will make me a stronger student as well. The thing about Navigate as a student is it's not just for the beginning of your career. You might just be entering a public safety field. And if you're going to be a student in Navigate, it's important to understand that if we master the technology before we get to the middle of our career, we are going to be able to gain certification as a new employee, as a new member of the public service. But also as I continue to train and refine my skills, I will have already mastered the platform. So instead of taking time to worry about the technology, I can work on mastering my profession. When I get to that point and I worry and I start to think about advancement, Navigate will also be the platform for many classes that occur during my preparation for either promotion or retirement. So Navigate will be with you from the very beginning to the very end of your career in public service. So that's a little bit about the benefits of the Navigate platform. Now we're going to delve into how do we access the Navigate platform for the right class. As a student, there's really three things that we have to worry about: the access code, the course ID, and how do I'm going to create my login so I have an account that's useful for me. The access code is going to be a series of 10 numbers that comes from your purchase. When you purchase your access code, it may come in a book, it may come in an email, but it's important to purchase an access code that has access to the platform at the same level that your course instructor or course designer has offered you to use. If you don't purchase from the right place, you will be shortchanging yourself and some of the benefits of the multi-sensory learning tools that are part of Navigate. The course ID is the second term that we have to understand. That's going to come from your instructor, and this will be a series of letters or numbers and it'll be six numbers and letters long. And when you put that in, and we'll see this here in a couple of screens, that will enroll you at the right level with the right access code. You have the right level into the right course, and you'll be studying the correct thing, the correct topic. When you create your login, that's just simply your name and address and email. So that all is going to come from your memory. We're going to talk about using an email address in a couple of slides. That's the most important. So now it's time for me to redeem my access code. I'm going to go to the JBL Learning page and I'm going to click on the redeem access code. That's probably the easiest way to get to this particular screen. Once you click on the redeem your access code, you're going to be able to read and agree to the terms and conditions and privacy policy of Jones and Bartlett Learning. This is where you're going to enter your access code. This will be the 10-digit code. You'll type it in, and then you will remember this comes from your purchase. So after you type this in, you will go ahead and click the redeem your access code, and that will send you into your course ID. If your code and you don't know what your course ID is, it's not the end of the world, but you will then have to access your course ID that comes from your instructor as you start your class. Just redeeming your code does not put you into your instructor's class. There are multiple ways to get into the proper place, but once you redeem your code without the course ID, you're going to be set into a non-assigned course, and then you can get yourself, or we can get you into the right course. When you're creating your login for your JBL account, which can be considered your career account, if you're going to use the platform for multiple classes, it's important that you use an email address that gives you information regularly that you check. This will allow your instructors at every class and every level to communicate with you through the announcements. It will give you updates on your completions of your assignments and when things are due. So the importance of a regularly checked registered email address is very important. So now we've redeemed our code, we've put in our course ID, and we have created our account. So I can tell a couple of things by looking at this. I know the computer system knows my name, and it's put me in the right class and in the right course ID. So I'm pretty happy about all of that. And once I go into the next screen, it'll be the launch page. The launch page is actually what will put you into the course and notify the instructor that you are a participant in the proper course. So once you get into the proper course, you can sort of have a little celebration there that you are now in the right spot. We're going to proceed now to Nicole, who is going to give us the live demonstration of Navigate.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. So I am logged in to my student account at Jones and Bartlett. And in order to access your account, you do just need to go to our website. So that's either psglearning.com and then push login, or jbllearning.com and push login there. And if you don't have an account, you just create one with a username and password. Now, in order to access my products, all I have to do is click on the item that I want. So this is the product that I'm going to be demonstrating today as a student. So I am on my student account and I do not have a learners tab. So as a student, I do not have that learners tab that you would as an instructor. So if you're an instructor and you see that and you're freaking out a little bit, it's okay. I am logged in as a student. So I'll go ahead and double click just to launch my title here. Now that I am on my page to launch the product, I can see a couple different things here. So, my name, my instructor's name, actually, that's me, my course ID, and then, the redemption date for this, as well as the expiration date. Now I'll go ahead and launch my course. Now, this is my main course page here. I have a bar on the left side for quick navigation and a bar on the right side for some information. So how much time have I spent in this Navigate account? I can run a full report detailing all of that information, how many hours I've spent. I can go to my calendar if I'd like, in case my instructor has scheduled some things out. Looks like there are no upcoming events, but if there was a quiz or something that needed to be taken, that would show up right here, or I could go to my calendar. We also have activities down here, and I find this very useful to look at quizzes from this section. So if I click on quizzes, this is going to show me all of the quizzes my instructor has made throughout my entire course. And if that instructor has, open and close dates on those quizzes, that's going to show up right in here, and I will be able to see when my quizzes are due. Now I'm going to hop back to my main course page just by clicking on course. And I'm going to close my side panel over there just to give us a little bit more room on our main course page. So my instructor has added a video right here. So if I click the I added video button and then click on the link, that's going to populate the video right here. And you can check this out on YouTube if you'd like. It was from a previous training that Ramon did. So I'm actually going to hop back to my main course page now by clicking the book title right here. Now, my instructor has created this section with this section having forms in it. So if I needed to participate in this form, I can just go ahead and select the My topic that my instructor created, and I can go ahead and reply if I wanted to. So let's just say, hello. So I'll go ahead and post that form. Now, obviously, you won't want your students to say hello. That is just an example. Now, I also replied here back on May 14th. And if I wanted to, I could reply to my own reply. So you can have students having a whole conversation. I'm going to hop back to my demo. So I filled out my form. Now, maybe I need to participate in my chat. So I'll go ahead and start this chat. And this is kind of like an AOL chat room. So if there's multiple students in here, they can go ahead and chat to each other, kind of like back in the day with AOL. Now I'll go ahead and close that since it's not a very active chat as there's no one in there but me. I'll hop back to my demo because we've done our chat for the day. Now I'll open my quiz. Now I made it a little bit easy on myself and I only have one question. Well, two questions actually. I have two questions in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and click away. I'm not even going to read it. I'm going to push that next button. I highly recommend students to read their quiz and don't do what I'm doing. Now go ahead and submit all and finish. So now, because my instructor has it selected in the settings, I can now review the correct answers. That is a setting that instructors can turn off if they would like to. And it lets me know I got this one wrong and I got this one right. It also indicates over here to the right side, as well as telling me my score right here. I'll go ahead and finish that review. It's going to tell me I did one attempt, and it's also going to show me, how quickly I did it, as well as my grade. Now, the instructor does have the option to remove this visibility for the attempt at all, as well as this review button right here. Now, I'm going to hop back to my demo. Now, My instructor uploaded an assignment for me to do. It is to submit a document. So I have already submitted a document here, but maybe I needed to remove my submission. I'll go ahead and continue. And then we can go ahead and add a submission. As you can tell, I am very late on this submission and it lets me know. So I'll go ahead and add a submission just by clicking on that little file button. Oops, not the file button, the little plus button, and then choose from file. I'm going to go ahead and upload this EMR flyer and upload. So I've got my document uploaded. Maybe I had to write a paper, or the description here says submit a picture. So maybe I needed to submit a picture of an ambulance or something like that for extra credit. Now I'll go ahead and push save changes. And my assignment is now submitted. So if I ever wanted to go back, I just go to click on my demo there. Now I've done all of these assignments that the instructor has laid out for me here. My last item is going to be this test, quiz, or exam. Now, your tests, quizzes, and exams are all going to have the same icon because they're all made under the quiz button for an instructor. I'm not going to complete this test, quiz, exam today because it is actually kind of long and I don't want to put you all through that. But I'm going to hop back to my main course page. Now, I've gone through my demo, and I've also gone through the video that was added here. Now, if I want to take a look at test prep, I can do that. So maybe I need a little bit more practice. Here's a document on how to prepare for your NREMT exam, as well as this very handy test prep tool. So if I click on that, we can go ahead and create a practice test. Now, depending on what subject I want to go over, I could go over all the subjects or maybe even just a single subject, but there are 690 questions to choose from. And the reason this number says 684 is because I have taken a couple already from the airway management section. Now, I'll go ahead and just add 3 questions in there and push add selected questions and create the test. Now, I'm not going to read, I'm just going to click away. So as soon as you click, it does let you know if you got it right or wrong, and it gives you immediate feedback down here. You also have the option to rate yourself on whether you're guessing or how confident you felt with this question. Go ahead and go to the next question. Now at the top, we do have the option for a calculator if we need it, notes, we can flag questions, and we can also hide this bar if it's stressing us out too much. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish up this exam real quick so we can take a look at the results. And yes, we do want to submit. Now I have the option to review my practice test or return to my dashboard. Returning to your dashboard just takes you back to that main page we were on where you could add questions to create your test prep test. Reviewing the practice test allows you to review your practice test here, and you can even compare how you've done with past tests and how long it took you. And there's also this nice little pie chart here. As you guys can see, I don't do great. Reading is not, I recommend reading the questions 100%. And then there's also this other bar graph that you can get data from as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit that back button. Now that is where we were, review practice tests. We've already created a practice test. Now we can complete the assessment test. So I'll go ahead and start that. Now with this assessment test, there are 120 questions. The timer is counting up, as well as we have the same buttons we had earlier. So if this timer is stressing you out too much, you do have the ability to hide that timer. Now, we are not going to get immediate feedback once we select one of the questions. And we do have to wait until the very end to see what the answers are and if we got it right or wrong. Now, I'm not going to put y'all through 120 questions, so I will go ahead and just end that test now and submit. Now, we can review our assessment test here or go back to the dashboard. I'm going to review the assessment test. And as you can see, I've only taken this twice as a student and I've answered no questions. So it's going to say, I've done pretty much nothing here. And our bar graph and pie chart here, or pie graph, is not looking very good. So I'll go ahead and go back to my main screen. Now we do have this quick view on that right side. It's going to let me know how many assessments I've taken, how many practices, how many questions I've done, as well as how many I've gotten incorrect and correct. I'll go ahead and close this page and we'll head back to our Navigate. I'll click on the book title here, get to the main course page, and I'll scroll down just a hair. Now this is going to be our simulations. We've got soft skill simulations here. This is going to be kind of like a Sims video game. So you'll have little characters you'll go and talk to and try to work through problems and really work on your soft skills. We also have the virtual patient cases here. So these you'll have a virtual patient and you'll work on these specific cases such as an allergic reaction, chest pain, just like if you were talking to a real person. Now I'm going to hop back one click there and I'm going to click on my videos. So for the videos here, these are the virtual mentor lectures. So let's say I needed to watch this lecture over an allergic reaction. I can just go ahead and watch the video. This video is going to be, I'm going to mute him. This video is going to be a lecture from David Page, and he is going to walk you step by step through an allergic reaction, showing examples of real life examples and even some like little castle drawings and things like that. Now I'm going to hop back to my videos here. And I'm going to scroll down just a little bit. Now we have the virtual ride-alongs down here, which I can click on the virtual ride-alongs. This one's going to be of allergic reaction. And something that I personally like about these ride-alongs is it takes you from the beginning to end of a call. So you start off just by the by the person calling 911. So, they're calling 911 and then EMS gets sent over and helps them. They end up going to the patient's house and then taking them into the ambulance and then to the hospital. And all the while this video is playing, it's going to be talking over it, narrating what is going on in this situation and what they're doing. I'm going to hop back to our videos. So we have the first section of the videos here are going to be those virtual mentor lectures. And that second section is the ride-alongs. Now I'm going to go back to my main course page. And we're going to check out the Responder Mental Health Resources. Now, this one is actually fairly new for this edition, but I do highly recommend checking it out. This is going to be another one of those, Sims-like scenarios. So if I click on this, it's going to load up here. And then we can kind of check out what it looks like. We'll have to see how fast it's going to load today since I have a Zoom call going on. But it's going good today. There we go. So this is what it looks like. It's going to let you know how long each scenario takes. And they're all locked. So I cannot continue on until I've answered the questions correctly as I go through. And for this one, there's going to be 5 scenarios. While 2 of them are optional, I do recommend doing all of them because mental health is the most important for all of us. I'll go ahead and exit this course here. We even have some documentation here just the crisis prevention and support resources. So this is going to be a document of very useful information. It's a PDF. So anytime you need, the lifeline or any sort of distress help, I highly recommend checking this out and keeping it with you as well. Now I'll close that and hop back to my main course page. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom here. We're going to go to Airway Management, Chapter 11. And the only reason I click on this one is because it has quite a few items in it. So we've got the option to do the ebook here. Now with that ebook, we're going to have some words that are highlighted. Now with those words, if I do hover over them, underlined rather, not highlighted. If I click on them, it's going to let me know the definition of that word. I do have the option to highlight specific words if I wanted to. So maybe I needed to highlight this. So now that highlighted word is actually going to show up in the My Stuff section. So if I click on My Stuff, it's going to let me know all the places that I have highlighted things, as well as anything that I've made a voice note for, anything like that. And to make those other kinds of notes, you just highlight, and then you have the option to do, those page notes, the web links, as well as the web pages and the recording voice notes. Now, if you do put a bookmark in, so let's say we wanted to bookmark this page because that's where we left off. We'll go to our contents, bookmarks, and then right here we'll see our bookmarks. If I click on this bookmark from, let's do the one from 6 days ago, click on that one, it's going to take me to where I was 6 days ago in my ebook. Now we do have the option here to read the book aloud. And we can print pages if we'd like as well. Now go ahead and close that. We also have the audiobook here. So for this audiobook, we have the option to download it. Now you can only download a chapter at a time. And this is going to be basically just that one chapter, and it's going to be an MP3 file. So then you can take that MP3 file from, your phone or what have you, and move that to whatever device you would like. Now I'll go ahead and close that audiobook. So maybe I needed to do some studying here. I needed to do some flashcards. We have pre-made flashcards in Navigate. And I'll go ahead and push play. Now, here is the question I'm trying to answer. This is not going to be the correct answer, but we're going to say it's high. I'll go ahead and push submit. Obviously, it was not high, but it lets me know right away what the correct answer is. And this will really help me study for these next quizzes and exams. Now, if I push that little hamburger button right there, it's going to show me all of the questions that I have for this chapter. There are 94 flashcards for this chapter. I'm not going to do all 94 flashcards, so I'll go ahead and close that page. Next up is the learning objectives. If I was ever interested in finding out what the learning objectives were for this chapter, they're all going to be listed in here. It's going to let you know what pages those are on and what they're about if I go to those pages. I'll go ahead and close that because that's pretty straightforward. It is just the learning objectives there. Now, my instructor has given me access to see the lecture slides. So I'm going to go ahead and open those so we can do a little bit of lecture slides at home. So maybe I need to work on a certain number of slides, or maybe I just need to, look over them before class starts. There are 168 slides for this chapter. And I do have the option to download it as well if I needed to maybe, transfer it to a different device. Now go ahead and close those. Now we have skill drills as well as the skill evaluation sheets. These two work hand in hand. So I can practice the skill drill with this PowerPoint slide here. And then I'd have the option to fill out those skill drills if my teacher assigns those to us. So this is just going to go through the steps of these specific skills. There is only 17 slides for this one, and I do have that same option to download. I'll go ahead and close that. as well as that page there. Now, maybe my instructor wants us to do these skill evaluation sheets. Maybe this was an assignment we did in class. So we can work on these sheets together. My instructor can give me a pass or a fail on specific items, as well as, if I've been approved or anything like that, any sort of comments as well. This is a fillable file and you can save it and print it. Now we're gonna go ahead and leave because I don't need this information saved. Next up is skill videos. So we have quite a few skill videos for this specific chapter. I'm just gonna click on one of the videos here and push play. Skill demonstration. So this is just going to show you the airway structure for infants, like it said. This video is only 3 minutes and 5 seconds long, so it's not too long, but just long enough so that you understand the skill. Now I'm gonna hop back to my chapter 11. And I'm not gonna make you guys watch all of these skill videos, but for students, I do highly recommend you checking them out. They are a very, very valuable resource. Next up is the interactive lecture. This is a great accompaniment to the book. So if I go ahead and push resume and mute him, he's going to read this out loud. And then once he's done reading it, I can push that next button. But until then, these are all locked. I cannot move forward. Now, if I scroll down a little bit, we do have knowledge checks throughout here. And if I scroll down to the very bottom, we have a quiz at the very end. Now, this is reporting to the gradebook, so depending on how your instructor is wanting this to be graded, maybe it's just, 10% of your grade as like a homework assignment, or maybe it's just as a practice and it's worth 0 points. So it all depends on what your instructor wants. But as we go through here, this is very interactive and we can click through these. We can even click on the, hyperlinks here to let us know what this is, this definition. Now I'm going to go ahead and exit this activity. All right, so if I scroll back down to my chapter 11, scroll down to the interactive lecture. So that's the one we just looked at. This is the learn at your own convenience and pace. And then we have these two quizzes right here. These are new to the EMT 13E. So this one comes with that Advantage package. This one comes with the Essentials package. These are just going to be your assessment in action in the form of a quiz, as well as the clinical judgment scenarios in the form of a quiz as well. Now I'm going to hop back to my main course page. And I'm going to check out the grade book here just a little bit. So I'll click on grades. So this is Lily J, my dog. She is not a great student. She does not fill out anything. But if I scroll down, we can see all of these interactive lectures that are already reporting to the grade book, as well as those assessment in actions and the clinical judgment scenarios in here. And then my instructor has actually created some categories. So there's a little bit of organization happening down here with these categories and assignments. Now I will scroll back to the top and I can check out a couple different views here. So maybe I needed like an overview report of my grade or even just, additional reporting. I guess that one doesn't do anything. Interesting. All right, so we will move back to participants here. So under participants, this is going to show you your entire class roster. So any students, any additional teachers, those are going to show up right in here. It's also letting you know when that person was last in the course. Now, I'm going to hop back to my main course page. Now, something I do want to let all of you know, instructors, teachers, every single person who uses Navigate, if you are not in Eastern time, I highly recommend you updating your time zone. So if you go to your initials, go to preferences, edit profile, and then down here, you'll be able to change your time zone from the Eastern time to whatever time zone you live in. For instance, I live in Kansas City, so my time zone should not be America slash Chicago. It should be America slash New York. It should be America slash Chicago. So let me scroll up here. Nothing like doing the alphabet live, that's for sure. Let's see. There we are. Okay, America slash Chicago. You'll scroll down to the bottom and you push update profile. Now, as you can see, I did click the closest major city. Kansas City was not an option, so I did America slash Chicago. So I'm actually going to click the back button a couple times here and get back to my main course page. There we go. All right, there is one last thing I would like to show everyone here, and that's going to be at the footer of every single page. So we've got this technical support and this support phone number. If you're a student and you're having issues with your Navigate course, I highly recommend contacting one of these numbers here. And then we also have access to this training library. So if I right click and open that in a new tab, then we are now at our website. So this is just the www.jblearning.com under this support button right here. So if I scroll down a little bit, we've got Navigate for students as well as Navigate for instructors. And then down here at the bottom, we have the system requirements. So for the system requirements, it's going to be what browser you need to be using and which version, as well as the device and the operating system. If I scroll back to the top, we've got the Navigate for students. Now, these are going to have very, very helpful documents as well as videos. So if I push, that first day of class, that's going to come up with a little video right there that's about 8 minutes long, as well as a supporting document. Now, maybe I needed assistance with taking a quiz. Maybe I forgot how. I can go ahead and watch this video on how to take a quiz, and I can also download that document if this video is not the way I learn. Now I'm going to go ahead and close that document right there and scroll back to the top of my page. So that is conclusion of the demonstration today. So then we're going to hop back over to our Q&A. So let me stop sharing my screen here.
Nicole, we had a question about a drag and drop problem, and I pulled up one of the clinical judgment scenarios. So I'll share my screen again here, and we will see if we can go through one of the clinical judgment scenarios real quick. We sort of answered the questions, but we'll give an example of it as well here.
Okay.
So this is one of the clinical judgment scenario quizzes that we have that are built into Navigate. And the question was about drag and drop. Sometimes if there's difficulty with drag and drop, we believe it could be related to VPN or browser that you've selected. So we'll see. I'm in Chrome right now. I use Google Chrome. So we'll see if we click and hold and then center it over it, sometimes it'll take it easier than if we don't let the yellow box grab it. And so sometimes it may just be patience and dexterity that's holding us back. Other times it could be the internet connection or the browser that we're using. Same thing can happen here on these other TEI style questions that have drop down boxes. And then we have another one here that does the same thing. So I hope that answers that question in reference to the TEI questions.
Does anyone have any other questions? You're welcome to put them in the chat at this time.
If not, I think we've got everything taken care of from the webinar, and I think we've got all of oops. We have another one. I appreciate that, Lori, very much. I feel like we've got all the questions answered, and we have made it to the end of our webinar. We can.
Laura, that is very sweet of you. You can
Really.
give us a virtual air hug.
We'll just put this reminder up here uh, of our recently released titles for everyone to be reminded that EMT 13 has come out and EMR 8 has come out, and they are there for you to utilize. There's also, if you want to get a hold of your account manager, there's that can be found at the website by going in and typing in your state and the type of product that you're looking for, and that'll direct you in the right spot. Unless there's any other questions or concerns, I think we can wrap up today's webinar.